Okay.
And welcome to the Switch Grocery Weekly Tasting Show. I'm Neha from Switch Grocery. You see me every week. If this is your first time, I am the co-founder of Switch Grocery. We're an online grocery store, and we bring cool products to Canadians faster than other people, like Piccola Cucina. I'm so excited today to have with me the founder behind what I'm going to call one of the best underground low carb companies. And she doesn't even know it in Canada. And she's here right with me, Pina, right on the eve of International Women's Day. So this is just perfect. If you know the format of our show, the first 10 minutes, we welcome everybody. We say hi. I haven't told Pina this, but we actually talk about our win of the week and our challenge of the week. And then today's format is going to be really interesting. We're going to talk about Piccola Cucina, the beginnings, the humble beginnings of Pina's company. We're actually going to talk about the wraps, and I'm going to pick her brain on the wraps that are in our store. And we're going to end with equality, gender equality. Like, we're just going all over.
All over.
So hi, Pina.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Hello to everyone. This is so cool.
I don't know if I did your thing justice. If I did this justice, just introducing you as the best underground.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm humbled. No. We do our best. How's that?
Well, that's amazing. Lisa says good evening, and Susan says hi, Neha and Pina. Arvin says hello, and Harmony in my kitchen on Instagram. Carolyn Singh is in the house. She's one of our very longtime friends. It's always great to see her. Shalini is in the chat. Keto Babe Life on Instagram. This is great. This is amazing.
Great.
And our text just went out, so you guys might see a text pop up on your phone. And Harmony in my kitchen says, so much awesome energy. Yes, that is all what we're about tonight. And Keto Cookie, Lydia from Keto Cookies here. So another powerhouse woman in the space. And Wendy says hello. So let's start, you guys. You guys will drop your challenge of the week and win of the week in the chat. And Pina, do you want me to start? Or do you want you to start with your win of the week and your challenge of the week?
Oh, no, I think you should start. This is your show.
So my win of the week this week, definitely is, I would say, balancing it. So I'm doing a big balancing act, and I'm succeeding. Some weeks I don't. All the balls are in the air, you guys. The kid ball, work balls, everything is in the air right now. It's okay when a ball drops sometimes.
Yeah.
But right now they're all in the air, and that's my win of the week. My second win of the week, I'm just going to say it, is my husband and I actually went out for happy hour yesterday.
Nice.
Which we never do, or we do, but like we haven't done it in a long time. So we actually got to have a little drink, and it was really fun, and we chatted. My challenge of the week is keeping all the balls in the air and making sure that they don't drop. But it's really wonderful to be chatting with you. So I'm going to put you as my third win of the week, because I think this chat today is going to be amazing. And David Edwards says, hi, Mom.
Oh, that's my son. No, David is my husband. Yes, but probably my son or daughter is on there. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, that's your win. I think that's your win.
Yeah, that is my win. Yeah. I see them texting, hey, how do we join? So there they go. They figured it out.
Yes.
I can tell you, Neha, that my win was also my challenge this week. So biggest challenge we had some late last week into this week. I've been a machinist, an engineer, a IT support person. I've been wearing all the hats this week. So the challenge was we had to halt production of our wraps because we had some maintenance done on a piece of equipment, and it didn't go exactly as it should have. So I had staff here waiting to make wraps, and they couldn't keep going, and so that was quite challenging and frustrating. But in the same breath, I will say it was a win because The company that did some work on the machine kind of figured things out for us. So now we know what to do in the future if we run into these kinds of issues. Basically, we use a hydraulic press to press the wraps. And so every time we'd press it, it would make a hole in the middle of the wrap.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've managed to figure it out. So that's the challenge and the win all in one.
How big was the hole? Was it like a small hole? These are the wraps.
Those are the wraps. You got it. So it was like 2 holes on either end. Oh. Yeah, right where your middle fingers are, kind of.
Okay, so kind of like
torn that. To the. Kids would have fun with that, making eyes with that. That would be fun. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yes, you got it. You might.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here.
See, that's fun.
You gotta make the best of it, Pina.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Shalini says, oh my God, great win this week for me. She's putting out a new series on her page, Keto Babe Life on Instagram. And her challenge is keeping up with posting the series. It's just, okay, this is a copy of Pina. My win is a challenge, you guys. This is amazing. So Pina, I'm also excited because I just think every single person I know in my life who's Italian is amazing. So it's amazing to have you, because I don't know if Italians are just born with the fun gene, or like there's something just inherently fun about Italians.
We love life.
Right? Love life. You do. And if you're just joining, we are interviewing Pina from Piccola Cucina, and she, I would really say that when we found her products, we were like, where have you been? What's happening? Because she, I think, is more, the Piccola Cucina seems to be more well in like the gluten-free market, but man, they're low carb, they're delicious, they're nutrient dense. Let's talk about your company. So what led you to starting Piccola Cucina? I actually have your pie shell today.
Do you?
Yes. We bought
Amazing.
We got it from Organic Garage.
Nice.
Ooh, where are you? Am I breaking it? Taking it out? It's also just
jammed. Always.
Jammed with everything. But
yes.
Okay, great. Everything fell out. No problem. Here we have it.
Oh, amazing. Beautiful. Thank you.
So right now I have your products. Tell us about your company and what led you starting this.
So we're rewinding back quite a few years. Piccola Cucina has been in business for a few years, but really the basis or the crux of it is it's a business I founded with my mother, and we just believe in feeding people really good food that is not super processed. Are you okay now? What happened?
Everything fell out of my freezer, Pina. This is real life. You know what?
This is real life.
Okay, no problem. I've broken things. I've set off the fire alarm on these lives, and right now we're winning. There's no fire alarm. Please continue. You said that. Yes, let's go.
So let's go. So it was like we need to get back to basics in the way that we're eating and cooking for our families, and we're all busier than we've ever been before. Everybody's doing double, triple duty, and so we really wanted a company that made products that you would feel comfortable feeding your family, your children, and you can read all the ingredients that we use in it, really. So, and we love almond flour. Like, almonds are an amazing ingredient, super versatile. It's in a lot of Italian-based products, and which renders them inherently gluten-free, which sort of is why it led us down that road. So yeah.
And how old is your company and where are you based?
We're based in Winnipeg, and we are 13 years old.
Okay, you're a veteran. Okay,
well, guys, I don't know about that.
Everybody who lasts in the food industry for 13 years, they should just get an Oscar. If there's an Oscar that exists for food businesses.
Or I'm super stubborn. I don't know.
One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two.
Oh.
So, It's I think in business, just like in life, you will navigate and you will be faced with things and challenges, and business does that. But you sort of have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared that every day is a new day, every day is a new problem, and how do we just solve those problems of the day, really?
How did you have a business degree, or were you like, Mom, let's do this?
No, I did not. I do not have a business degree. But I've been an entrepreneur since I was about 5 years old. I
Oh,
had my first business in kindergarten, where I would make bracelets out of my grandma's yarn scraps and sell them at school. So I was hustling at an early age. I just always knew I love doing a lot of different things, and I just knew that I would eventually be in business. And food is the center of our family. It's the center of our culture. It's the center of our home, and so I knew it would probably be somewhere in that realm. I don't know that I necessarily knew
right.
this path in particular, but I love business. I love everything about it. I love the challenges that come, the wins. The wins are so great.
Wins are great.
Yeah, the lows are low, sure, but
Yeah.
what goes down must come back up, and so that's sort of my perspective on that.
So you were talking a little bit about your background. How
Yeah.
did your Italian background influence your products?
So, Italian food is made with very simple ingredients. If you use really good ingredients, you will always have a good finished product. It's really quite simple. So that's really the basis, is not adding a whole bunch of stuff, no fillers, no, it's often a little bit more expensive to conduct ourselves in this way, but we really just believe that it's worth it. It's worth feeding ourselves the right things and good wholesome foods, and so that's the reason for that.
Harmony in my kitchen has a question where she's asking if you distribute in the US.
We do not distribute in the US yet. We can ship from our own website into the US.
Oh,
So
cool.
we do ship,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, our graphic designer today was talking about your website, and I just want to give you a big compliment. She loved it.
Well,
She was
thank
like,
you.
"This is such a great website." And she was like, "Tomorrow I have a list of ideas for you from Piccola Cucina's website." And I'm like, "Thanks." Which, but your
Oh, that's
About
amazing.
Us page is great. Can you talk to me about the name of your company,
Yeah.
Piccola Cucina?
So, Piccola Cucina. Piccola means little, cucina means kitchen. So that, when my mom and I first were thinking about names, and I lived in Calgary at the time. Actually, we started the business while I was still living there, and she said, I think it was we were working. I can't even recall. We were working with a fellow that was helping us with our graphic design, and we just kept throwing out all these different names, and Piccola Cucina just stuck, because in all sense of the word, everything that we do it comes out of our little kitchen. Even as it grows, it's still the basis of how we operate. We have these ideas, and they all come from, whether it's my mom's kitchen, my kitchen, us exploring, tasting, trying, and that's where it comes from.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really, really love that. I'm gonna try to look up what SwitchGrocery, how to say that in Italian now.
Okay.
Okay, we got to talk about the wraps. Like
Okay, let's do it.
we have to talk about these wraps. So first of all, they're just like, I'm pretty surprised. Okay, so I'm gonna actually show. So I'm gonna open the bag. So they come in a
Okay,
bag of 10 wraps.
that's right. Yep.
The ingredients I'm gonna read out to you. Oh, I don't have them here. It's very
I
simple.
have them. I have
Okay,
them. Do you want me to read it
great.
out?
Yes.
Okay, so ground almonds, that's the second ingredient. First ingredient is water. So almonds, ground golden flax, which is from here in Manitoba, coconut flour, psyllium husk, coconut oil, pea protein, apple cider vinegar, xanthan gum, and salt.
Like insane.
That's it.
Insane. Okay, so I just want to show off these wraps because this is why we carried them. Like, just first of all, they're massive. Like, my hand is hidden.
Yes.
My face. They're they're a face mask, as I did with the eyes that I just popped. And they're very malleable, like they
Yes.
don't break. See, like you could kind of see them just like
Yeah.
it's like a fan. Why, like, these are unbelievable. So how did you come up with this? Like, how did you make
So
this?
it's about 3 years in R&D in the making. That's how long it took to get to this final product that you see here today.
Okay,
So
let
we
me just say that.
Yeah,
3 years
3 years.
in research and development.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. 3
Yes.
years.
3 years. Because for exactly the reasons you just cited, it's malleable. It doesn't
Yeah.
break. It
Yeah.
doesn't crack. It
Right.
won't get soggy. You can leave a filling in there for up to 5 days. I'm not kidding. And it will not gluten wraps, like wraps with gluten, can't do that. They will get soggy. You can't eat them after you've had a filling in there. And I've tried wet fillings. I've tried roasted zucchini, roasted eggplant. They will not get soggy. It just keeps its structure. So that's the reason, because there's nothing else like it on the market. There is nothing else that everybody complains. So I really, I've been in the industry a while, attending different shows. You hear sort of the plight, right? They
Right.
either don't taste very good,
Yep.
or they break and crack. That's the biggest knock that people have on gluten-free wraps, right?
Right.
And those were kind of the two things. And then, we wanted something that was good for everybody. So from vegan all the way to, keto friendly. Loaded with, you change the filling and it can be adaptable to whatever dietary requirements you have.
So you answered the question, but one of the questions I always ask our suppliers is, we are now, from 5 years ago to now, we're
Yeah,
inundated with keto products.
sure. Of course.
Gluten-free,
Yeah.
keto, like,
Yeah.
they're just inundated. What is the differentiator on this? What did you try? Is it the malleability? Is it the versatility? Is it the ingredients? Is it all of the above? What makes this one different?
It's nutrient dense. So when all you need is one, it's got 8 grams
Right.
of fiber, protein, 6 grams of protein. You can pack it with a bunch of veggies and be full and satiated for a very long time. It's good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's good for sweet or savory. It's just that versatile that you can do anything with it. From quesadillas to wraps, stuffing it with, lunch meat, whatever is your fancy. It just really works because it's so neutral in flavor. It doesn't
Right.
have an aftertaste. Doesn't really taste like, it'll taste like whatever you put in it, basically. So we started on this journey. We were starting with like a flax based wrap. That's really where we started when we were developing this wrap. And
Right.
then we worked with our partners here in Manitoba. It's called the Prairie Research Kitchen, and it's Red River Polytechnic. It's a college, or they're Polytechnic actually now, and they just have some really smart scientists and people that take the vision, understand what we're trying to do, and then just help tweak the recipe and bring it to where you need it to be.
I am obsessed because okay, so I guess the other question I would have is, what would you talk? Because normally we talk about pricing, right? Keto
Yeah,
products can be expensive.
sure.
So I think, could you talk to us about the cost per wrap? I think right now on Switch, we have it on for $22.49,
So it's a
which
couple of
would,
dollars throughout.
yeah. So
Yeah.
talk to me about pricing, if you don't mind, and how you price your products.
The pricing is driven by the cost of the ingredients. So the cost of ingredients the ingredients that we use are all very costly as raw materials.
Yeah.
So that really makes up the majority of the cost. And then there's costs like marketing and
Yep,
all
I
that
do.
sort of the
All
rest
of
of
the
the
good
stuff
stuff.
that you add up in there, and shipping and delivery, and it doesn't all come to the manufacturer. Unfortunately, there's all these other components that are part of that actual cost.
Yeah, and I think the reason that I was asking that is because we've seen a lot of price increases in food in the last few years specifically. And one of the conversations I had with one of our customers, Mark, like just I think it was 2 weeks ago, was about pricing. And
Yep.
so to put it in context, if this is $22.49 and this is 10 wraps,
Yep.
that's essentially 10 lunches. So it would
Yep.
be, with the filling, but it would be essentially at home, you basically make your lunch, and that's
But
10 lunches.
exactly. So, okay, on that vein, for $2 a wrap, you add some veggies or meat or whatever for under $5 or $6, you can
Right.
still have lunch at home, or bring
That's
your
great.
lunch with you, which is still much more economical than going to any restaurant. You can
Yeah,
even have two for less than what you would pay out in if you're buying out or whatever.
absolutely.
So it's perspective, right? It's perspective. If you
Yeah,
take the
and that's
time, if you plan, if you plan and have what you need and put all your ingredients together, there's no reason why.
yeah, and the example I remember that Mark was giving us was just when you go out for dinner, it's like $100. Like, in Toronto right now, it's
Totally. And that's without any
actually
alcohol too, right?
without
Like
any
that. Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually insanity. What
Yeah.
is the cool stuff that you've seen done with it? I can tell you. So here's what Brian and I do. We make pizza crusts with these
Yes.
a lot because they're kind of thicker, which I really, really like. We do very, very simple turkey, cheese, lettuce sandwiches, like super, super simple.
Yep.
We've also done, we've cut them up and made chips with them
Yep.
for our toddler. I don't know if you've heard that, but I was like,
Yes.
cut them up. And you can cut them up
Yep.
with scissors, which I just love. I'm actually going to do that right now to show you. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
chips are a really great one. Actually, in the air fryer. So if you coat them in a little bit of coconut oil or olive oil and pop them in
Right.
the air fryer, yeah, they're awesome. And then when they come out, actually we had a chef do that with top them with like a chili lime, and then dip them in cheese. Really, really good. Yeah,
Oh my
really
gosh,
good.
that sounds delicious. What else have you seen? I haven't done
Um,
the sweet yet.
Sweet, you know what? Like for a lot of people, sometimes people have to take pills at a certain time, and so like I know my dad's used it because he has to take something late at night, but he doesn't want to eat too much, so he'll have that with a little bit of lunch meat or something like that in there. But you could throw almond butter and honey, or almond butter and jam, a banana, peanut. If
Right.
you do peanut butter, that would be great in there as well. My kids love Nutella and a banana. So they, yeah. And so you just spread the Nutella on, put a banana on it and roll it up and then cut it into little pinwheels. So you might, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit older than you are, but in the 80s, they used to have like pinwheels at baby showers and stuff, right? Where they put like cherry cream cheese and little cherry.
Right.
So it's kind of that idea. And they love it because it's a few bites and they enjoy them, and they're getting fiber, they're getting protein. They have no idea that it's good for them. Well, they will now because they're watching, but
Right. The secret is out.
the secret is out. Quesadillas. I do pizzas as well. We'll be showcasing a delicious vegetarian pizza with roasted zucchini and peppers and onions and that sort of thing with some sun-dried tomato, olives. It's delicious. Just throw in a bit of cheese if you do cheese, or no cheese. Really yummy. Yeah.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
amazing. I'm gonna have to clip that and do that as a show. So we don't sell your almond pie shells, but I really
don't.
need to show them off because
So that's how I think we met, was because of the pie shell originally.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I have to show these off because if people have not tried these, go find them at your grocery stores. And first of all, love the packaging. It says unsweetened almond pie shells, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. 2 ready-to-bake pie shells. So this is how they come. I'm actually going to open them. Brian's going to not be happy with me, but I don't care. I'll just pop them back in the freezer. Oh, like, how beautiful is this? Look at that.
So these are awesome. They're unsweetened. So you've gotten the unsweetened ones there. That's perfect for deep dish pizza, quiches, meat pies, fruit pies, you name it, honestly.
Right.
Well, you use them, but it won't get soggy or mushy under your filling. I'll make a couple of quiches and freeze one for a quick supper with a side
That's what we do.
salad or side veggies. Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what we do. I love how Greg is like poor Brian. It's true because so Brian makes he puts in like a bunch of ground beef with
Yeah.
lots of vegetables and sweet potatoes, and then we put that in here, and we usually freeze one and we make like eat one right away. It's such a treat. Like this is, and it's not like some of the low carb pie shells, or first of all, I don't even know if they exist, but sometimes when you try to recreate this, it doesn't come out the same. Actually, I want to see the ingredients. Hold on. So let me see if I can. Okay. Non-GMO ground almonds, water, brown rice flour, ground golden flax, coconut flour, coconut oil, sea salt. Like, I don't even know how to. That's amazing.
So 2 net carbs per serving.
Yes.
If you're doing low carb, you know, we've made a tortilla in there, or oh no, are you okay?
I dropped the shells. If they didn't break, please tell me they did not break.
They're pretty resilient. Hopefully they didn't break.
Nope, we're good. They did not break.
Okay,
We're good.
Good.
Everything's good.
You can actually use one of the crusts for a top crust. So like a tortilla, do your meat pie and then put a crust on top. Same with an apple pie. You could do a covered apple pie. It's really good. And then just top it with a bottom. You just, when you're topping, I think I do have a video on our website of me doing a covered pie, but it has to be not totally frozen, but not thawed. Because, you know, when you flip it, you need to be able to, you know, pinch the sides or whatever and just make a hole at the top so the steam can escape. And it's really, really nice.
Can we find these at grocery stores, like the pie shells?
There are some grocery, yeah, like Whole Foods, Organic Garage you mentioned before,
right?
Whole Foods East and West.
Amazing.
Yeah, few different, more of the natural specialty food stores.
Do you ship them direct from your website?
We can, yeah, we can ship them. We do a par bake just to ship because they are a frozen item.
Okay. We have 3 comments that we need to discuss. First is Karen Bradley, who says, "You two are making me very hungry." Totally. I'm so sorry. This is what happens with the wraps. I thought with the interview, I wouldn't show the food as much, but then I got hungry. So I started eating the wrap. And I think what I will say about the wrap is the taste is very, what's the word? Sometimes you can taste like first of all, the wheat ones, you could taste like a wheat gluten type kind of oat fiber taste.
Yeah.
This taste is very light. So it doesn't have, it's not like, it doesn't overtake. So I can see that even with the pie shell, like I haven't done an apple pie yet, or like a berry pie. I would love to do that. But I think that would be amazing. And Shalini Keto Babe Life on Instagram says, "Wow, I love the pie shell. I have to find them." And Greg is asking, "Is there a tree nut free one? I'd love to make I can't pronounce this. Is it a tortilla?
Maybe tortilla?
Yes.
So, yeah, tortilla is a French pie. It's basically a meat pie. We don't make a nut-free one at this time, but certainly something we would be open to exploring.
Okay.
Our facility does contain nuts, though, so that would be a contaminant if you're very allergic to tree nuts.
Good question, Greg. Also, Greg, Brian is coming to Ottawa tomorrow. So my husband's going to Ottawa tomorrow, and I'm just like, cool. I'm going to be on myself. I could do this.
Yeah. There you go.
By myself. And Karen says, "What a great idea with the pie crust." So I love that. I think she was talking about the two pies
putting them together.
Yeah. Can you talk? And I want to talk about. You also sell almond flour on your website, right? Like just actual almond flour. Yeah. So we were actually thinking of carrying it. And I think everyone knows, if you don't know, with Switch, we generally focus on products that you can't find. And so we were just like, many of our customers have their own sources of almond flour, but if you're interested, send me a message and let me know. And we could do that. And Greg is asking when I'm going to Ottawa. I'm going to Ottawa in June, at the end of June. It's my half brother's birthday. So I haven't told Brian yet, but I'll be going. We will decide. So then I'll see you, Greg. I wanted to ask you about, so we're going to now switch to the grocery industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conversation right now about the big box grocery stores having a lot of power. I know, Galen Weston is being called to Parliament to talk about pricing and not pricing, but the profits that Loblaws
Yeah.
has earned over the pandemic and how prices for food is through the roof. Um, I want to talk to you about that with how do you see the grocery industry and where do how do you see big box stores? How do you see smaller stores like Switch Grocery? Where do we all fit in? What's your perspective?
That's a really like hard loaded question to answer, honestly, Neha.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's probably we probably need more than like an hour, but it's complicated and complex. And for small brands like mine, um, it's really hard to compete. The requirements from a lot of the mainstream grocery is, things like listing fees, which means you have to pay to be on the shelf. You have to pay
Right.
for a spot. If you're not moving a certain amount of volume, they take you off right away. So it's really hard when you don't have deep pockets like some of the national brands do, who have the ability to throw those marketing dollars or throw that money into those positions. So it's a challenge with being so that's why companies like yours, Neha, Switch Grocery is important for vendors like me, because you're allowing me the opportunity to talk about my business to all of your customer friends, and that's really important. It's important because there is a face behind the brand, and it's literally me and a few lovely people that help me along the way. So it's something has to change, something has to give,
Yeah.
or we're not going to see a lot of innovation on the shelf, or the innovation is going to come from brands like ours, and then they're going to get swallowed up, whether it's bought out or pulled into other businesses, which is unfortunate because you need a little bit of everything. You need small business, you need the bigger business as well, but it has to be a little bit more of a level playing field. And I think the pendulum has swung a little bit too far in one direction, and we need to have a little bit of a course correction. Is my opinion on that.
Okay, that is so articulate and well said. And I
Thank you.
do want to give an example, which is an example for like one of our suppliers told us that they got a quote to list with a large store, and the listing fees was $45,000 for one SKU. And I just was like, I don't. So, guys, just think about like if you want to see this at Loblaws, somebody has to pay $45,000 to for this to be inside Loblaws, and then on top
And
of that, there's a
no
lot of charge.
guarantee of sales. I just want to say that. Like, that just gets you a spot in the freezer.
Right. So
Yeah,
you're still responsible for moving, marketing,
absolutely. Yeah.
and then
Demo
charge
programs.
and any discounts. Do you fund discounts at large stores?
We're part of like the Sobeys local program here in Manitoba, but we don't have any national listings other than like the Whole Foods, when we're east and west, or but I just I I can't bring myself to pay that. I just, there's no guarantee, and I think you have to, I don't know. I'm a believer in slow and steady wins the race, and
Right.
if that means we don't grow as quickly, it just maybe means that we'll stick around a little bit longer, because you know I just don't have that. I don't have those means to do that, and I I can't really pay to play. So, but I think there's always other ways. Yeah.
Right. Wow, that what you just said, I just like instantly got tears because I just think that at the end of the day, and I do want to say this, which is I'm trying to think of what you said that brought the tears coming. So I was going doing a pitch competition and I was going for $30,000, right? And they said, "Oh, what are your thoughts? Your top 15 in Canada." Okay, cool. And I said to them that I just think that we just want an equal opportunity, right? So in the tech space or even in the food space, I've seen massive checks been handed out, like just massive checks. And we're all competing for these little pitches, like $5,000 here or there, $2,500 grant, which I all appreciate, but we're like fighting over this grant money. And I just want to say, we're going to talk a little bit about more this whole International Women's Day, but it's what Pina said was very difficult because her products are really, really high quality. And honestly, someone should be handing her a check for $250,000 to grow her company and put her products in stores. Like that's what should happen. But that's just not, that's not what is happening. So
it's not happening, but important to mention, Neha, that if it doesn't start happening, if we don't start investing in our value added processing in our country, so I'll give you an example of the Italians do value added processing really well. The majority of the pasta that is manufactured in Italy is made using Manitoba flour. They invest in the know-how. Yes, they invest in the know-how. So we've, as a country and here on the prairies, we've gotten used to sending out truckloads of raw materials for somebody to add value-added processing somewhere else. We have an opportunity in our country to do that better because the raw materials come from here, but we need money, we need investment, we need, we've had so many businesses that have closed just in the last month, just on the prairies, that have been plagued by this kind of economic environment. And so we need help. It's not enough for our federal government to say that value-added agri-food processing is important. We need to put our money where our mouth is and really actually continue to invest in those businesses that have production facilities, that have manufacturing, that have capacity. Joining the businesses. I mean, we're doing better, certainly better than 10 years ago, but we still have a long way to go, and we need to start modeling with countries that are doing a really good job. The majority of product that's exported out of a country like Italy is made with the ingredients from here, the pasta in particular. So it's just one example, but that happens in many places. India, I think, buys a ton of our lentils,
yes.
And then, yeah, right. Yeah. So it's another country, so this is
Right.
not a one story example. There's many.
And for value add processing, would you mean that that's manufacturing in
Got it.
Canada?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
Because there's a whole supply chain, right? Like when you're manufacturing, you've got everything from, buying ingredients, packaging,
Right.
raw materials to, the people that are making the product. So now you're feeding the economy. Those people have jobs, they're buying all the rest of it. And then on the back end, you've got trucking companies and supply chain logistics, shipping of the product going in other parts of the world. So it's much more than like, it's affecting so many people along that supply chain.
I am in awe of you right now. Lydia says, wow, from Keto Cookie Co. And then Greg says, that's something I've wondered about. Like for you, Neha, to be able to compete carrying wisps when you can get a big bag of it for $11 at Costco can't be easy. Yeah. And I think that's a strategy, Greg, that we've thought about a lot for our store, which is we carry products, for example, that you may find at Costco wisps. We chose to carry that because it helps our customers complete a cart. So we were very lacking in our snacks category, and these wraps are definitely part of that answer. But wisps, even though it's cheaper to buy a bigger bag at Costco, some of our customers either won't do that or can't get there, or they're on our site to buy specific things and they'll round out their cart by adding wisps. So it's sort of like even as a grocery store, we have to have a strategy of like, okay, yes, we have our brands. We need a gluten-free wrap. We need another wrap that has gluten in it, but is even lower carb. I mean, although your thing is 2 net carbs for this wrap, which is insane. When we launched Mr. Tortilla, which is another wrap we carry, we were getting a little bit of hate from our gluten free customers. We're like, this has gluten in it. So now we have 2 options. So we have products to have options, and then we have products to round out a cart.
Yeah.
And Greg also says it's such a tough economic climate at the best of times,
Yeah.
let alone the way things are right now. I can't even agree more. It is. And so many of our, I mean, this week I can share with you, but two of our suppliers are not, you know, like Lee's Provisions, which is a company that made brown butter ghee, and all in Canada, Quebec, they closed down this week. And it's
Sorry
just
to hear that.
really sad. That was one of our top sellers 3 years ago. Like,
Uh,
it's just very difficult. So it was a tough week. I actually couldn't even post on the weekend because I was like, I know these suppliers. I've worked with these suppliers. I believe in them, and it's sad to see that. So but that's not, we can't, it's never putting it on our customers. We're never like, because we know our customers are also going through a hard time with
Absolutely.
budgets and pricing pressures, but it is good to talk about it. It's good to
Yeah.
talk about this. And sometimes I'm like, it's not just about the food, it's also about the business and
Absolutely.
behind the scenes, everything that's going on. I have one question for you on the products.
Yeah.
So you have a facility that's okay, HACCP certified.
HACCP certified. Yeah.
You have certified gluten-free. It's
Yes.
kosher,
Yes.
allergy friendly.
Yes. So we do are from, so I'll start with where you started. So HACCP just means that we have a very rigorous good manufacturing practices. So that's anything from, sanitation to pest control to things that you wouldn't necessarily want to think about as a consumer, but we make
Right.
sure that our facility is clean, that our staff is trained, that they are all wearing smocks and hairnets, and there's nothing coming in from the outside, and so that's what HACCP really means. We are kosher certified. That means that we every quarter we have a rabbi that comes to visit us and make sure that we are compliant, and then we upload all of our ingredients into a platform, and they approve. They approve our ingredients to make sure that we're keeping up our certification. We've been certified kosher since the beginning. And gluten-free
Amazing.
certification is the newest. So we are certified through NSF International. And that basically means that we have a rigorous controls program where we test. We send our stuff to a lab. They send it. Actually, it's a requirement when you first get certified. And then to maintain that, we have an auditor that comes in once per year, audits our paperwork, our record keeping, make sure that we're doing that up to the standards that need to be. And you need to pass with pretty high marks in
Right.
order. Yeah, so it's and then finally allergen friendly. So we are free from any of the top allergens. Of course, we do use tree nuts,
Right.
and we do use egg whites in our facility. But other than that, there are no other allergens.
Okay. I'm just such a fan of you. I'm such a fan that, because that's so much work that you put in. Like,
Yeah, it
that's
is.
like a ton of work, and probably staying up at nights and doing all of that. I want to make sure that this live gets posted on Instagram, and the last two
Okay.
haven't, because I have crossed the 1 hour mark. So I can't cross the 1 hour mark.
Okay.
So, which means we are going to have, I'm going to put, and I want a budget time because we went live on Instagram first.
Okay.
So 5 minutes, and I want to talk to you and pivot about International Women's Day.
Okay.
I have a mixed relationship with International Women's Day, because every day should be International Women's Day.
Yes.
And there's a lot of like tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of like, oh, women, yay, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then March 9th, we're done.
We're done, whatever,
Yeah.
women, come on. I want to talk to you about two questions you came up with for me in the live that we did an hour ago. And one was, I'm going to divide it into two, because three. One is, what can we do as humans to raise the voice of women? Because there is the teaching children about the importance of equality, but I think that that's a second question. The bigger one is, what can we do to amplify and raise the voice of women?
Shining the spotlight on women owners, suppliers, friends, employees, does not dim your own light. It actually shines the light brighter for you as the shiny. So what I mean by that is, the more advocating we do for each other, the more we talk about, the work that we're doing as women, the businesses that we own, the struggles that we have, but also the wins and the successes, and and all the rest of it. That's really an important part of the conversation. And that's how I think we move forward, and stop the rhetoric, stop the negative talk, stop. That's not serving anybody. It's not helping anybody. We are here on this planet for a very short time, and so why not try to make the best of it, and do the best by our fellow humans. We're all. I saw this really cool clip the other day, and it was more on the topic of diversity, and it just talked about what color is your mind. What color is your mind, and your mind is not a color, because it contains your soul, and we are conditioned to see color. We're conditioned to see race. We're conditioned to see gender, and so if you really just focus on the spirit of the person, and not the shell that they've been brought to this earth with, I think that we can all go further together.
Thank you. Okay, you're just making me all the tears come out tonight.
Oh
I
my
don't
goodness,
know.
no crying,
But
no crying.
no. But I love that, and I also love that applies. One of the things my Brian, my partner, is a huge fan of mine, and we've talked so much about International Women's Day, and
Excuse me.
he really lives his life like every day is International Women's Day, which means, and I just, because I've just seen him at work, and I've just seen him. And on our second date, he actually told me, he was like, if you want to be the prime minister, you could do it. You should just do that. And that's what I'm talking about, which is, I think I'm a little bit tired of just the women's groups. Like, I don't need that. I need every person to be a part of this. And that's kind of what I'm probably asking for today. I just need everybody to be a part of this, because we're 50%.
Whatever you want to call out, there's all the hashtags out there but just
yeah,
raise that voice. Yeah.
Yes. And how are we going to help, or how can we help our children? And there's some of our customer friends who have kids, and there's some of our customer friends who don't have kids. And so first, I just want to recognize that I think personally, like, that's your own choice. That's everybody's own choice.
Absolutely.
And in the spirit of inclusivity, I just feel that we all have a chance to impact the next generation, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Aunts, nieces, nephews, children you literally see on the street on a walk, right?
Absolutely.
That one interaction. So I wanted to ask you, how do we help the next generation advocate for those who don't have a voice, actually be inclusive? How do we do that
We need
in
to
this
make
really
it.
strange world? This really strange world.
It is a really strange world, and I'll just add to that the children may not belong to you personally, but they belong to you as a community. And so they are part of your world, because they will become the person you buy something from at the local grocery store, or, go to school with your children, or with their friend, whatever. I mean, it's part of our community. So, how do we, Neha, I got off track.
I will read the question. How do we help our children find their voice, to stand up for inequity or injustice, to be fearless, and to advocate for those who do not have a voice?
I can only speak from the perspective of my own. I have almost 10-year-old daughter, and a 12-year-old boy. And, these are the conversations that we have as a family at the dinner table. We are, a biracial family, and so we have conversation about color. We have conversation about equity and diversity, and and making sure that everybody feels accepted and everybody has a place. Everybody was created equally, and so if they see something that doesn't make their tummy feel right, then they need to talk about it. And if they don't feel comfortable telling a teacher, then they need to come to their mother, their father, or grandma, somebody that they trust. And so we've created an environment, I hope, where is one of openness, and we have a lot of conversations, and we make a lot of analogies, and we try to put it into their world and into their perspective, and also we try to teach empathy. How would you feel if you were the one being pushed or pushed around or not treated properly, or in their terms, like on a playground or whatever, and you weren't included? How would that make you feel? So don't be the one that includes everybody. Be the one that includes the person that's sitting on the sidelines. Be the one that speaks up, because you won't ever feel bad about speaking up. You'll actually feel really good from it.
Thank you. That was very well said. I have nothing to add. I'm just going to follow your advice. I'm literally going to. How can people find you? Can people visit your facility? Can they come just like buy wraps straight from you?
Well, yeah. So we do offer local pickup for sure.
Amazing.
We can't let everybody into the facility, unfortunately.
Where all the Switch customers come
Yeah.
and they're just like, hey, Neha said we could come in and come for a tour. So
Yeah.
what's up?
No, we might do something from the facility at some point, and show things off and show us making wraps in live or something like that. But yeah, absolutely. You can come do local pickup here in Winnipeg. We ship across Canada and the US through our website, of course, on SwitchGrocery.com. Hopefully you'll be able to try the wraps that way. And a few select natural specialty food stores across Canada.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pina. I'm going to ask you a last question, which is what I ask each of our suppliers.
Okay.
If you had only one way to tell us to try your wraps, this wrap. So the first person buys it, what is the first way you would tell them to try it? To just like do it justice. It's a hard one, right?
That's a really hard one. I'd say just do it simply, like, pull it out of the freezer, heat it up for 15 seconds, and put your favorite like lunch meat, lettuce, whatever your spread of choice is, and you'll really get a feel for the wrap. That or even just a quesadilla, so you can toast it quickly in a pan, get that cheese nice and melty, meat if you like to, or just veggies. But yeah, those are the two ways I would say. Or Nutella and banana. Okay, that's good.
We'll have to do Nutella and banana.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Lisa says this was awesome tonight. So much more than wrap talk. Thank you. Thank you,
so
Lisa.
much.
We love Lisa. We're supposed to send her a SwitchGrocery t-shirt, and it hasn't happened yet. And I have to do that. So Lisa, it is coming your way in 2023, but I have until December 31st. Spoken like a true business owner.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I'm going to go post this right away on Instagram and the replay. My dog is eating shells of soup that fell out of my freezer, so I got to go rescue that.
No.
It's okay. She's fine. Thank you so much. I'll pick her up to say bye. Thank you. This is Lucy.
Oh, cutie.
And it was amazing to talk to you, Pina. I loved it.
Thanks for the opportunity.
This is the best way for International Women's Day.
Absolutely. Well, happy International Women's Day tomorrow and always. Thank you so much for
and to everybody on the line.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.